Alright, I'm here going to install the PUR dual stage under sink filter system. Got the package open here, and then it actually came with this adapter, and according to the instructions to put that in, you're supposed to disconnect near where your faucet goes in. The problem is this is a 1/2 inch valve that it wants to connect on, going into a 1/2 inch. But most modern faucets actually have a 3/8, and it actually, and I know it's hard to see, but it goes up and it goes directly into the faucet. So I couldn't go 1/2 inch to 1/2 inch like they asked me to. So I've got 3 packages here, 3 different adapters that I got that worked for me. A hose barb, which will go for that hose, a 3/8 adapter to get the hose barb on, and then a valve adapter, basically splitting it into 2 things. And so you can see I already installed that right there. So there's the split, the 3/8 coming out of my shutoff valve to the 3/8 going up to my cold, and then it also has the 3/8 coming out the side with the adapter. That's the 3/8 to 3/8 adapter. Then that's the barbed hose holder. So obviously the water is shut off. That's why there's nothing coming out of there. And that'll make it so I can use the hose they provided, and I can't use the shutoff. That does get rid of the shutoff that I was going to have for it, but since it's connected directly above the shutoff for the cold water, I wasn't really too worried about that. So I'm gonna get the tools kind of ready and set up. It says that we need obviously our safety things and a few other tools, and we'll start to install it. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do here is actually install the faucet. That's gonna be the metal plate. It's gonna go above the sink, and the rubber gasket to keep water out. So that'll go on there and go above the sink. And then underneath, I've got this little plastic bracket to hold it in place, and a washer, and then the nut will go on the outside, so it'll kind of sandwich on there on the bottom. Currently my sink, we just have a plug installed in that hole that's already pre-made, and so from underneath you can see the white plug there kind of in the middle. We'll unhook that so that I can put that on. All right, so I've got the plug out of the hole. See, all the way down in to my light. So again, rubber gasket, the metal plate just goes in there on top. It is helpful for this part if you have someone to hold it. Once I start touching it, it'll balance, but once I start messing with it, I could push it back up pretty easily since it's not attached yet. So then I've got my 3 pieces. I'll put the black plastic piece facing up, then the washer and the nut. I'll try to show this. So you can see the new rod coming through. I'm gonna stack all 3 of my parts, so hopefully I can hold them and get them in place in one shot. So black plastic and washer, then the nut, and I'm gonna do a lot of hand tightening, and then once I get it up close to the top, then I'll switch and use a wrench to tighten it the rest of the way. So you just need to get it tight enough to be secure. All right, with the faucet itself installed, okay, put ours to the side. It's kind of what it looks like. Now I can figure out where we want to mount this. Just use the bracket itself as the template. And ours is going to go, since our water comes out to the right, our cold water's to the right, our faucet is up there on the right. We're going to go over kind of behind our disposal unit, kind of up in that area. The main thing is underneath, you want to make sure you've got at least an inch, that nothing's going to impede it. I'm going to probably go as high up on the side here as possible. Okay. Kind of hard to get good angle, obviously. So I'm going to go kind of as high up here as I can, just so we can put stuff underneath it, storage-wise. And to do that, I'm also going to take out the filters that come pre-installed. Really easy to do. You just shift that over to unlock, and then it says right on it, twist off to the left, twist on to the right, and as you twist that, it then pops out. Okay, and you can see kind of the mechanism it uses right there, and the gaskets that are on there. And so twist, and then it pops out. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that marked. I'll just mark where these holes are with a pencil, and then I'm gonna pre-drill into the side of my cabinet, and then they give you these little screws that shouldn't go through. They're only about 3/4 inch, maybe an inch, and you want to keep them out about 3/8 of an inch because they'll fit inside that hole, and that's how it'll be held. So I'm going to pre-drill that and then show you putting that on. All right, so I got the screws installed, and so I'm going to take and line up the two holes onto those screws. Okay. So there's one on that side, the second one on. So it's hanging up from the top, and then I'll tighten those screws down, hold that in place, and then I'm going to leave the filters out because I'm going to need to get to the two connectors. Okay, and I'll be back with that in a minute. All right, so got these screws tightened on the top. Okay, hard to see now, but that's definitely in there, solid, won't move. So now on each side you have your input and your output, and so to get the tube into there, you take this little blue clip out, the C clip, set that down, and you need to push the gray part. You can see right there, that needs to go up, and then this white plug will come out. So I'll kind of use my thumb, push that up, and then this will come out. So then the tube needs to go into there 11/16. So I went ahead and marked that to know that it's seated fully. And so I'm gonna insert that there. I'm gonna kind of push those together. One-handed is a little tough, but there we go. And you can see that line slid right up into there. Now that's connected. Now that's got the whole tube on it, and what I'm gonna do is clip that to the right length. This is actually the out side, so the in is over on the left. I'm going to take this out, I'm going to clip it to the length that will go up. Get my dishwasher drain tube out of the way. It will go up to the faucet. So I'm going to clip it to the right length and then show you how to prepare for that faucet connection. Okay, to connect to the faucet, I actually just have my extra tube here, but I wanted to show you what you do is you take the little plastic compression fitting that came with it and the nut that's going to connect to the faucet part, and then this last little plastic tube piece, and we're going to put the nut onto the tube first. Maybe. There we go. And then the compression goes onto there. And then this little tubing piece goes in. I can get it to stop moving away from me. There we go. So it'll go in to there. It's a pretty tight fit, but that's what you want. So then on the tube that's actually connected to my filter, I would then take that and put it into the faucet and tighten that down onto the faucet. All right, so there's the actual fitting with the ferrule inside, the compression, and the nut itself. So it's gonna insert into there, and then I'm gonna tighten that on. And then obviously the wrench so I can get it nice and tight. Since it is a plastic compression though, I don't want to get too tight. So don't over tighten when you do things like this. So I'm hand tight now. I might give it another little quarter turn, half turn, depending on how easy that is, but don't over tighten. Right, so there's the ferrule with the compression plastic and then the nut. And I'm just gonna insert into that fitting and then tighten this nut down. And you want to get that nice and hand tight, and then use a wrench, but don't turn it too far, maybe an extra quarter turn to half turn depending on how easy it is. You don't want to over tighten those plastic compression fittings.